Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to In this class we are going to continue with chapter 11 of class 11 education Nagaland board, which is concept of learning. Now so far in the chapter we discussed about what is evaluation, why is evaluation more important than examination, what are the differences between examination, evaluation and measurement? The different methods of examination, namely external, oral, written, as well as the two approaches of evaluating students, that is formative and summative. In this lecture, we are going to focus on the meaning, the relevance, the significance of continuous and comprehensive evaluation, which is CCE. Now, what is CCE? As I told you, C in CCE stands for continuous, comprehensive and evaluation. So this is what we understand by CCE. Now, CCE aims at assessing the students on a regular basis, so that rather than getting a final achievement record of the student, one can get to know the changes or the improvements that have taken place in the performance of the child throughout school. The reason why this is called comprehensive in the first place is because it focuses on the all-round development, the holistic development of the child. As I told you, CCE not only grades the students on the basis of their subject knowledge, but also on their behavior, their punctuality, their regularity, their attitude towards their friends, their teachers, their sensitivity towards the environment, and all these important aspects are graded, and it is through the CCE pattern of education that a teacher can understand how much growth is there in the mind, the cognitive growth, the intellectual growth of the child can be assessed. Because what happens here, students, because of the summative assessment, because of the concept of year-end exam, even if the child has scored 99 on 100, that does not guarantee whether the child is going to be good at the other necessary skills of life or not. He or she will surely be excellent at the subject that they have appeared in and scored such a brilliant score. But what about the other factors of one's personality which play an important role? What about sports? What about dance? What about drama? What about singing? So all these changes, all these things need to be assessed for the child. Therefore, the CCE pattern of evaluation focuses on the fact that it is important not only to judge how well the child has fared in the summative or the year-end evaluation execution, but how much growth the child has shown over the year or over the instructional term. How much the child has understood the subject of, plus how much interest the child has shown in the other activities. How much participation the child has put up in the classroom activities, and how much the child has become better behaviorally. So all these aspects are touched upon by CCE. CCE is a very systematic approach. With the help of CCE, one can get to know about the merit of the child. That is how, that this approach is going to help one understand what are the important topics that the subject is going to teach you. What are the important topics that you need to know from this subject? Why is it important to learn this subject? If we are teaching you education, why is it important to know about these methods of evaluation? What is the significance? What is the relevance of all the teaching which is imparted to you? And also, it teaches each one of us, it makes us aware of the criteria, that is the standard criteria, which is to be used for assessing all the students. It is not going to change. It is going to be a standard parameter which will stay the same, and on the basis of the same parameter, all the kids are going to be. Therefore, the CCE pattern of evaluation is going to be very helpful for any organization. It can be an educational organization or even in the corporate sector, where every organization has a name, right? If we talk about a school, when a child takes admission in the school in grade 1, the school aims at imparting a desired number of things by the time the child completes the first grade, okay? Gets promoted from the first grade. So it is through the CCE pattern that the teachers as well as the educators are able to realize whether what they have aimed for is getting achieved or not. Whether the child is moving forward towards the achievement of the final goal or not. Whether the goal that we have made, that we have set for the children is actually realizable or not. Is it so tough or is it so easy for the children? That also we can get to know if we are regularly assessing. If the children are unable to cope up with what we are putting onto them, is there a substitute? Is there an alternative which is available to it? Can we do something about it? Is there anything that can be done about that? Can we plan some better way of teaching the students? Is there a better decision that can be taken for the bright future of the students? So basically, under the CCE approach, not only are the teachers involved all the time with the students, assessing them from time to time, but the students are also very active. The child knows that it is not only the year-end exams that I have to prepare for. What do the children do when we know that we have an exam in the month of March? That's it. I will start preparing in the month of February, will study the entire day and will end up getting the good score. The entire year from April to January is going to be neglected by the child altogether. But it is because of the CCE pattern of evaluation that the child knows every step is monitored. Every answer that he or she gives, every attitude, every behavior that he displays in the class is okay. So CCE has also made it possible that if there is a child who does not wish to appear for the class 10th board exam, then he or she can certainly join those schools or educational institutions which do not have the pattern of class 10th board exams. Rather, they evaluate the students on the basis of CCE. So that option is always available. That child can skip the school exam. This also is a possibility for them because they are more willing to let themselves be assessed on the basis of the CCE pattern. And if you are going to be assessed on the basis of CCE pattern, you need to know that there is an internal assessment that is taking place all the time. Everything that you do, every action that you take, every decision that you make is being assessed. So CBSE has provided appropriate guidelines for setting the question papers under the CCE pattern and has also given a specific marking scheme that the teachers are to follow, which is obviously different than the summative and the traditional mode of it. After the exams have been conducted, CBSE is going to collect the mark sheets and grades from all the schools and institutions who have opted for the comprehensive and continuous evaluation, wherein it is not only the academic, not only the scholastic, but the post-scholastic areas are also judged for the students. So the CBSE is going to collect the mark sheets. After collecting the mark sheets, the capability, the proficiency, the ability of the child is measured by testing how much the child has learned during the year on the basis of the feedback that the teachers have given. Because the teachers were judging them, the teachers were assessing them internally throughout the year. So on the basis of the feedback that is given by the teachers, the students are going to be assessed. This method is very good method, and it has enabled the entire term of the school to be divided into two terms. First term starts from April to September, and the second term begins from October to March. So according to the CCE system, in these two terms, the child is going to be assessed on the basis of various internal assessments that will be put up by the teachers. The various activities that are going to be decided upon by the teachers. At the end of it, the teachers are going to give the students grades. On the basis of what? On the basis of their performance in the activities, on the basis of their performance in the class, on the basis of their participation in the co-curricular activities and so on. So this is how they are going to be assessed. And this is the grading scale that you can see on your screen. For a child who gets the points between 9.1 to 10 is given the grade A. A2 is given to those students who score between 8.1 to 10. B1 is given for 7.1 to 2. B2 is given for 6.1 to 7. C1 is given for 5.1 to 6. C2 is given for 4.1 to 5. D is given for 3.1 to 4. E1 is for 2.1 to 3 and E2 is for 1.1 to 3. So these are the different grading scales on the basis of which the child is given the appropriate grade over the year. Now let us talk about the CCE system of assessment which is followed in India. As we have told you that the Central Board of Secondary Examination is, has originated with this method so that the children can be assessed regularly and continuously. And not only are, their achievements in the final exam is given weightage, but how they perform during the year is going to matter. So this system was originated and initiated with the sole intention of reducing the stress of those students who know that it is only one exam that will be conducted at the end of the year, which is going to be a do and die situation for them. Either they score well or they don't, are obviously going to be in a lot of stress. For them, these exams are going to be very much anxious, they are going to be paranoid when it comes to these exams. On the other hand, when the students know that it is a regular assessment, that if they are not able to show progress in the first term, they always have the possibility of improving themselves in the second term. So this helps lower the level of stress in the students. The students develop an attitude both towards the academics, the scholastic subjects, as well as towards the post-scholastic area. Because he or she knows that they are going to be judged overall. Holistically, they are going to be. Therefore, as I have repeated again and again, The focus of CCE is on the overall personality development of the child and not just the marks that they score by the end of the year. And therefore, they aim to lessen the workload on the students and improving upon their overall skills. Holistic is the word that we need to remember, which is the benchmark for. Now let us talk about the advantages of this. Obviously, since the child has got a lot of time to show an improvement and can always have a possibility to improve in the next term, therefore it reduces stress among the kids. Second, CCE focuses on the personality, the overall personality development of the child so that the child can become a global citizen. He can decide, he can think, he can analyze what is right and what is wrong rather than becoming a robot. CCE removes the pressure on the students. As I told you that because of these summative assessments, what happens that the child knows that the final exam that he has to appear for, that is a do and die situation for them. And if they fail to perform well, they are not going to have any other opportunity there. But it is due to the CCE system that this pressure is removed because the child knows that they are going to be assessed regularly. On the other hand, they are also aware of the fact that they can move ahead in life with the subjects or with the activities that they are interested in. It is not only the subject, the scholastic areas that are going to give them a better grade, but also how well they perform on the ground, how well they perform on the stage, how well they perform with their friends is going to. Therefore, the aim of CCE is to make the children relax, to make the children calm, so that they can keep on progressing further without feeling any pressure. Now, let us talk about what are the gray areas, what are the disadvantages of CCE. The main disadvantage of CCE is the grading scale that we talked about. Any child who scores between 9.1 to 10 will get A1. But there can be a difference in the aptitude of the children. How does the child know who is better? There is no judgment for those children who are between A1 grade or those between A2 grade or those between B1 grade. There is no differentiation that is there. There is nothing, there is no account on the basis of which one can know which child is more deserving and which not. All of them are always on the same page if they fall under the same grade. They are not going to take their studies, their academics seriously and are going to continue to neglect them. The marks, again, those percentile marks, 9.1 to 10, 8.1 to 9, these marks are obviously very difficult for one to understand and it is not easily approachable and achievable. Now, there are co-curricular activities which consume a lot of time. At times, there are some projects which are given to the children which require them to buy expensive things, which again is not possible for every parent to afford. So a child who's not being able to make a project is obviously going to lose as compared to the child who was able to. Even if there is, the child who did not make it was better in that time. The students always continue to struggling between how to complete the projects which are allotted to them and how to study because both the things move hand in hand. Therefore, in some of the schools, the number of tests have increased. Okay? When the schools found that this was problematic for the students, that there were so many loopholes with respect to the CCE pattern, they increased the number of tests, which is not made in the fundamentals of CCE. CCE wants the number of tests to be less and activities to be is as per CCE that the teacher should continue to observe and assess the children on a regular basis. Because children need to be given appraisal, need to be given, recognition, need to be assessed and evaluated, not on the basis, on the marks that they have scored, but on the basis of a qualitative parameter that has been set for them. Environment, cleanliness, punctuality, logical reasoning, so on and so forth. So the achievement of the students are evaluated on a continuous basis, and they are placed in such a manner that, they are not only involved in scholastic but also the post-scholastic areas, and it is on the basis of their overall performance by the end of the year that they are placed in the different activities. If over the assessment the teacher gets to know about the side of the child, which means that he or she is very good at writing, the teacher is going to make sure that more opportunities are given to that child to improve upon the writing. Similarly, if somebody is very good at dramatizing, the teacher is going to make sure that the child puts up his best foot forward to enact, to be on the stage. Okay? So this is why CCE is so important and significant. And with this, my dear students, we come to the end of this chapter.